Okay, well, looks like we're live here on Facebook. Sorry for the technical difficulties, everybody. I believe we're live on the Dos Leprechauns page right now. We're hoping so, anyways. Let's see what happens here. We're getting blocked on the regular Facebook, so I'm hoping that yep, we are live now on the Dos Leprechauns Facebook. So if somebody could please share this, we would really appreciate it because for some reason we're having all kinds of technical difficulties trying to get it on the regular Facebook, but hopefully this is working out. So thank you for joining us for this episode. As we mentioned, we will have Kinnon Tatum coming on the show here in just a couple of minutes. Kinnon Tatum, legendary linebacker for the Irish. I'm sure a lot of you remember him for the hit at the SC game in 1995. So really, really excited to have him on. Also, as we're doing this, we got Jason Lynch on. All right, good. So people are watching. We're also watching the Irish men's basketball team play Virginia Tech. Unfortunately, they're down 8 at half. So down 7 at half now. So some continued struggles there for our guys. But the women's basketball team's looking pretty good as usual, right? Mm-hmm. Congratulations to Arike. She just became the all-time leading scorer in Notre Dame women's basketball history. So huge shout out to her. I think she's probably the greatest of all time in terms of women's basketball. Mm-hmm. I'd challenge anybody to argue that with me. As I mentioned, if you guys could please share this post, we want to make sure it gets out there because it's not, for some reason, streaming on the regular Facebook page. We'll be bringing Kinnon Tatum on here in just a minute. If you have questions for Kinnon Tatum, let us know. We got a sick blockhead, Brian Little, one of our best supporters. And actually, if you hadn't heard the news, Dos Leprechauns is now on iHeartRadio. So if you want to check us out there, you're more of a podcast person when you listen, that's great. Check us out on iHeartRadio. We're also on iTunes and YouTube, thanks in large part to Brian Little. So with that said, it is just about 2 o'clock. We'll bring on Kinnon here in just a second. Nate, why don't you go ahead and dial him up. If you have questions for Kinnon Tatum, go ahead and drop them here in the comments section, and we'll try to get to them as best we can. Also, we'll have an open phone line after the interview. You can call us at 951-206-9403. So give us a call. Let us know if you have any questions for us or anything you'd like to talk about. We're happy to try to answer that with you. We've got Jason Lynch on, Brian Little. I saw Greg Schaefer, East of the Bends. Greg Schaefer, they have a great podcast where they focus a lot on high school football, so give them a shot too. Calling Kinnon right now.
Hello?
Mr. Tatum, how you doing? This is Dos Leprechauns.
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're great, man. Hey, thank you so much. We're finally able to connect.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We're doing the interview at 4 o'clock, man. I'm glad that you called.
Yeah.
I was waiting for an internet company to call me back. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. They're calling me from California. Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, man.
Good. Well, thanks for taking some time to get on with us today. We've got quite a few people watching live, so we'll probably have some questions from our audience here throughout the show. But kind of wanted to just start off by asking you, and you know, you hear a lot in college football about the Cats, you know, different things like that, some of the legendary moments in football. But for me, one of my favorite moments as a Notre Dame football fan was in 1995 when you changed the entire course of that game by just destroying that SC player, man. So tell us a little bit about that game and kind of that hit and how it immortalized you.
Luckily, we had a little bit of digital video going back there, so we can keep some of that footage. But the stage was set like, you know, USC was undefeated at the time. They were number 5 in the country, and we had took an early loss that year. You know, we had high hopes that year as well too, but we had only had 1 loss at the time. So, and Keyshawn Johnson was talking a whole bunch of smack as far as like what they were going to do on offense, you know, to our defense, yada yada. And when the game started, to make a long story even longer, like when the game started, like they were like moving the ball pretty efficient. And they ended up kicking the field goal. Or no, we ended up kicking the field goal when we had the ball. They ended up scoring a touchdown. But when they got the ball back again, they got the ball on their 3-yard line, and they had a 15-play drive going when this actual hit happened. And so that was obviously the 15th play, but there was 3rd and goal on our 3-yard line. So they went from the 3 to the 3. So it was however many yards that is, man. I don't feel like doing math. I already got my degree. But regardless, so you can say anytime you make it over 10 plays as a defensive player, man, you know, you kind of winded. So granted to say, needless to say, like what we felt like on the 15th. So that one play was called. This was like the 4th time that they were running this ISO ISO run play, and I knew it was coming. I only had one gap, and they ran it right in the A gap, and their fullback, he had been cutting me the entire time. And in South Bend, we don't really play the cut block. We chin check, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's big boy game out here, not finesse. So so he went to finesse, and I went big boy, man. So I went over the top, and then I hit the running back in the mouth, man. At the same time, during the exchange, the ball came out, and when we recovered it, it was just exciting as it actually looked on video. But when we recovered it, from that point on, we ran off 35 straight points, and we ended up beating them 35-10, which was an amazing game. So you're talking about a mood swinging play. That definitely was a mood swinging play. The offense we're very energized from that point on, and yeah, man. So
I remember it vividly, man, and it's so amazing to hear you tell it from your own perspective. What did Coach Holtz have to say after you made that play and you went back to the sidelines?
Well, he didn't have anything to say. Coach Holtz was you remember he had the neck brace going on?
Yep.
He was sitting up in the box. He was in the box that game, I believe. Yeah, I think he was in the press box that game. So Coach Davey was championing the sidelines at the time because he was a defensive coordinator and also the interim head coach too. So he was taking care of the sideline like this.
Okay, all right. So we had a question from Jason Lynch. Wants to know, what are your thoughts on how much the game has changed since you played, both collegiately and in the NFL?
Well, I can definitely say it's safer. I can say it's safer, and I can say the main thing is that they're trying to make it safer.
Sure.
And in their efforts in doing so, it's changed the scope of the way that they call the game. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, obviously, we like the game the way it was, but at the same time, if you have kids and you're thinking about playing, the safety of the game matters to you. It's not just for demolition purposes out there. So, so it just prolongs guys' careers, man.
Got it.
So what would you say is the best game that you played in?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat that. It's kind of hard to beat that game there. The game, one of the awesome games too, was Texas A&M, the Cotton Bowl. We played Texas A&M. We beat them and finished number 2 in the country. When we beat Florida State, my freshman year in '93 at home, it was number 1 versus number 2, the game of the century. And then after we beat them, we lit that number 1 on top of Grace Hall, and that was. I don't think I went to class for like 4 days. I think I just partied for like 4 days, man. I don't know. It was crazy. What other games that were there? And then senior year, there were so many meaningful games because it was your last one. You knew it was your last collegiate game. So, and we scored a whole lot of points.
Yep.
We scored a lot of points, man. We were averaging like 50 points, man. And that was back then, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we were pretty efficient. But we opted not to go to the bowl game, that game. And adversely, the SC game that we lost to actually break the 13-year streak is one of the games that I remember. It wasn't obviously favorable, but that's one I remember too because it meant so much. It was crazy.
Sure.
So,
now I know you didn't know a whole lot about Notre Dame before committing to go to play in South Bend, but was there a moment that you kind of realized, man, this is where I need to be? This is going to be home for the next 4 years or 3 or 4 years for me?
Well, it was on my visit. I knew nothing about the school. I really wasn't into colleges like this. So, I mean, I was just playing football, man, to be for real. But when I went on the visit, just the feeling I got all the way around, it was kind of boring. It was focused on academics. It was a long way away from home. People couldn't just stop by and see me, and there was kind of a life that I wanted to get away from as well too. And of distance. I knew that.
Sure.
But I ultimately wanted to have like national connections versus being regional. I wanted to be able to go where I wanted to go, and Notre Dame seemed to give the best opportunity for that, like with the degree.
Sure.
And with the exposure with we play one West Coast game a year, every year. I mean, I went to California every year, man. So that was super cool. Like, so it was. I mean, it was a whole bunch of things about it that was just nuts. That weren't offered at other schools.
Do you ever get? Do you ever get to go out to the Stanford game out here in Palo Alto anymore since you stopped playing?
I haven't been out. No, I haven't been out. I want to go out, man. I want to go out.
It's kind of funny to me because back in the day in the mid '90s when you guys were playing, you'd go to that game and it was empty. And after Andrew Luck and Jim Harbaugh and those guys, it's totally packed. But I remember you guys used to have your way with Stanford, and so now it's just kind of funny to see the difference out there,
Yeah, for sure. They were kind of good though when we played them as well, man. They were kind of up and down, like what you said, but they got real consistent over the last 10 years.
Oh yeah. I know you were drafted. You were drafted in the 3rd round in 1997 by the Carolina Panthers. What do you think it was like? Did you ever think that you'd be playing in the NFL, getting drafted that high? Did you get drafted where you think you would? And talk us through that process a little bit as far as the NFL experience for you.
It exceeded all my expectations, man. I just wanted to go to school and earn a scholarship where my parents didn't have to pay for school. So
nice.
Just kept getting bigger and bigger. Just with the right guidance and leadership, the guys I was playing around, the coach I had, and seeing guys before me make it to the league. So I mean, it just became like a reality. If I really wanted to do that, I think I had that option. So then, Combine's coming up here this upcoming weekend, down in Indianapolis, and I was invited to the Combine, and that's the best of the best in the country. So when all these things get to happening, it's like a real opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And the week before the draft, remember Jimmy Johnson was the coach of Miami Dolphins at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He flew myself down there because he wanted to draft another linebacker for Zach Thomas, because Zach Thomas kept getting concussions. He wanted to draft another fast linebacker. So he flew myself down there. He flew Derek Rogers and Derek Smith from Arizona State, and Derek Rogers ended up going down there. But just like I'm saying, all these events that are happening, like the Combine, going down there, it's a real deal, it's getting ready to happen. And then when draft day came, there was only 2 days then. There was first day and second day. It was the first 3 rounds,
mm-hmm.
the first day, and then it was rounds 4 through 7 on day 2.
Right.
So I watched the first day, thinking I was just going to be watching my boys get drafted. Mark Edwards, and Ronaldo Wynn, and those two especially. I figured they was going to go in the top 2 rounds, and I thought I was going to go the second day. But then I started getting phone calls in the 3rd round, and then the Dolphins called. They were like, hey, they said we got the 89th pick. In the third round, they was like, you were just down there, we're getting ready to draft. It was like, do you want to be a Miami Dolphin? I was like, man, I said, all my life I wanted to be in Florida. I said, yeah. I said, pull the trigger. So my heart's about to jump out of my chest. I'm sitting in my apartment at the Point in downtown South Bend. I'm sitting in my apartment, man, and I'm just sitting there waiting for these picks to go through, and it was taking each one now is taking a year.
Yeah.
Between these picks, I'm just waiting for them to get to the pick. They were on, I don't know, 70 something. And then the phone rang again, probably in about 15, 20 minutes or so. And I thought it was them calling back, but then I answered the phone, and it was Carolina Panthers. And they was like, hey, it's we got the 87th pick. It was we're thinking about drafting. It's do you want to be a Carolina Panther? I was like, man, you know what? I said, all my life I want to be a Panther. I said, go ahead, pull the trigger, man. I said, do it. I didn't care who called me. I was going to say, all my life I wanted to be
That's
there.
Right.
Let's do this.
That's great.
Because like I said, man, this whole thing exceeded my expectations. So I wasn't lying when I said that.
Sure.
I really wasn't. So it was super cool, man. Super cool.
Nice.
Just to see a name on ESPN, a TV show you've been watching your whole life. I mean, yeah. So it was just super cool. Super cool experience.
So what would you say is the biggest difference between college and the NFL?
The depth of the play calling. I would say the depth of the play calling, the preparation, the different matchups that coaches try to present. You get a lot more variations in the NFL because it's more of a mind game. People recognize quarterbacks can recognize defenses, a little bit better than they can in college, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers and DBs can recognize what quarterbacks are doing. That's why you see marginal quarterbacks always have a high rate of interceptions because dudes can see what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like a brain game. But I would say the speed in the lines, like the offensive and defensive lines, like the speed, it's phenomenal. Like those guys, everybody's fast. And, everybody else was already fast, but like the linemen and D linemen across the board, are athletic as well. So a 6'5", 330-pound athletic guy is kind of scary sometimes.
Sure. Now, I know Lee Becton was a guy that kind of mentored you a little bit earlier on in your career. Are there other guys besides Lee that you're still close with? Do you still talk to on a regular basis, hang out with at games, things like that?
Well, I talk to a lot of guys, man. When we go back for the spring game and we go back for big games, I usually go back for 2 games a year. Oscar McBride, I'm still in contact with Big O, exactly. Bobby Brown, he comes back to games or whatnot. Burt Berry, which is my dog, that's my boy. We were drafted back to back.
Nice.
On draft day, which is crazy. So he retired. He's out in Arizona. He's out in Scottsdale, chilling. Ronaldo Wynn. He's down and working for Joe Gibbs, racing, doing the game plan for life, going around doing the testimonials, praying for teams and groups. It's crazy. Brian Young, BY. He's back in the coaching game. He lost his son a few years ago. Kobe was 9 to brain tumor. Crazy, unexpected. It's nuts. But he's coaching with the Atlanta Falcons now, so he's chilling. There's a lot of guys, man.
Sure.
In here in Chicago, every now and again, me and Tony Rice get together, Reggie Farima get together, Sergio Brown, Darius Fleming. They just joined the retired players in Chicago. I'm on the board there. And those guys just joined, as far as the young alumni, because, they just stopped playing.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry, you name it. We could be on the phone all day, but I talk to a lot of guys.
So Mike Kane wants to know, is there anywhere you would go on campus to just kind of get away from everything?
Anywhere where I would go on campus to get away from it. Not necessarily, man. I'd probably go off campus, me.
Yeah.
To get away from everything, I'd probably go off campus, totally off campus.
Okay.
But my dorm was pretty. My dorm was like my safe haven. I stayed in Soren, and we didn't have athletic dorms, so I didn't have any athletes living with me.
Right.
And I loved it like that, and I was right next door to the basilica, to the church. So just always hearing the church bells, the chimes of the clock, and stuff like that. That was serene enough, and obviously I got the grotto down there, but
yep.
I can't say that I utilized it in that manner. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, it's a beautiful place. I don't think there's any wrong answer there. So the last question we always kind of like to let people do here is just tell everybody what you're up to now. If you have anything, I know you have the the app that you guys are pushing. So let people know, what you're supporting, what people can find you on, things like that.
What app? I don't know what
the one that Ronaldo Wins got going on.
Oh, that's Ronaldo's app. Okay,
oh, I thought that was both of you guys. Okay.
No. I just said I downloaded it the other day. No, that's Ronaldo's app.
Okay.
But I'm with Allstate Insurance. I'm with the Allstate Insurance Company here I'm a market manager in Central Illinois. So what I do is I support the agency owners, the independent exclusive agency owners of Central Illinois, like on best practices on how to increase the equity in the business, expand, you name it. And take care of the customer in the right way too.
Sure.
And we specialize in financial services and workplace benefits. So I'm pretty busy trying to help these guys maximize their sales opportunities to take care of customers.
Okay, very cool. And if people aren't already following you, how can they? Are you on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter? Just let them know how you can get to stay in contact with you.
I'm on Facebook, man. Facebook is just my name, Kinnon Tatum. I don't think there's too many other people out there like me.
Probably not.
I think it'll pop up.
Okay, very cool.
But you gotta put in there, but and on Instagram too. But that's about it.
Okay. Well, hey, Kinnon, we really appreciate the time today. It's been a real honor to talk to you. It's amazing to watch you play, and it's been great to be able to catch up with you a little bit.
Yeah, glad we can catch up, man. Thanks for giving the call, man.
Yes, sir. You have a great day, and go Irish.
All right, see you. Go Irish.
All right, so that was our interview with Kinnon Tatum. So I think you might have had like a bird in the background or something else kind of cool, but I was waiting for him to come on the phone too. So we have an open phone line now, 951-206-9403 if you want to call in and talk anything Notre Dame football, Notre Dame basketball, women's basketball, anything you guys want, give us a call. It's 2:18. We'll be on for another couple minutes here, and then we'll sign off. Kind of a quick show today. We will be taking off the next few weeks, probably getting ready for the spring game. We do have some articles that we're going to have coming out on our Dos Leprechauns page, which we are live on now, especially talking about the AAF. Nate and I had an opportunity to go out to the home opener for the AAF Fleet, San Diego Fleet. Nate, why don't you tell me what you thought about the game?
I thought it was really cool. It's great that they put football back in San Diego, not just college football. And it's not much different than at like Chargers games and stuff. It's the same environment and stuff like that. People acting crazy. But yeah, it's really cool.
It was a great environment. People were really into the game. There was some chance of screw you Spanos toward the end. So I know my boy Adam Winsel liked that. I know some of my San Diego Charger fans, Alex Montoya, really appreciate that. So it was kind of cool. Let's see. Gary Candidate wants to know who is going to the spring game. We will not be at the spring game, but I will be in South Bend in June. I'll be making a special announcement about that today, but I will be going to fantasy camp finally. Thank you to everybody that supported me. I've been saving for 5-6 years now. This has been a dream of mine. Finally pulling the trigger. I'll be going to fantasy camp, so I'll be out there in June. Would love to hang out with some peeps before and after. So that'll be in June, and then we plan to go out to the Boston College game, which is the weekend, the senior game weekend before Stanford, and then we'll be doing our usual tailgate in Stanford with our boy Troy Keenan and everybody else like that. So. Like I said, we got a phone line open if you guys want to call the AAF games. It was really cool too to see Terrion Folston out there for the Atlanta Legends. He didn't get a lot of playing time. I think he might have gotten hurt midway through the second quarter. Didn't see him much out there after that. It's been nice to see Niles Morgan playing out there for the Arizona team. Greer Martinez playing for Salt Lake. Cody Riggs is playing for Orlando. Ben Turk's out there for I think Orlando as well. Who else am I missing from the Irish that's out there? We mentioned Folston. I know I'm going to kick myself in the butt after this. Max Redfield on the Birmingham Iron. He's actually had some good games. I think they play later today, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. So the Birmingham Iron, they're undefeated, so Max is getting a chance to show off. I know John Montelius was one of the guys. He had transferred to Virginia Tech his senior year, but he was a domer for 3 years, and I think he was on the Birmingham team as well, but I could be wrong. It's great to see some of these guys. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, thanks for that. It's great to see some of these guys getting a second chance to play some football and maybe get a look for the NFL at some point.
Yep.
So, again, right now Notre Dame basketball is on down 7 with about 14 and a half left in the second half against Virginia Tech. They're putting up a good fight. I think this team is going to be really, really good next year. They got some really young talent on there. they're going to be a scary team next year. I think this year is kind of just a learning experience, but next year you're going to want to watch out for the men's basketball team. And men's baseball, man, Cole Kmet yesterday, 5 strikeouts and 3.5 innings pitched. He looked really good. The Irish won. So yeah, it's been a good time for Notre Dame sports. So good stuff. All right, so nobody's calling in, so we're going to go ahead and just sign off at this point. Give us a call if you want, but if not, we're going to sign off. Thank you guys for joining us. Not sure why it didn't go on the regular Facebook feed, but we are going to go live, looks like from now on here on the Dos Leprechauns page. Please share this podcast so people can hear the interview with Kinnon Tatum. Like I said, we'll be off probably for the remainder of March, or obviously the remainder of February and the remainder of March, and we'll be back in April to get ready for the spring game, talk about the Combine. Looks like we're going to be able to get decks on sometime either right after the Combine or soon after that. So we're looking forward to that. Nate, anything before we sign off?
Baseball's back.
Baseball season, boys. Who's everybody's baseball team? Drop your comments in line. We're Angel fans, but I got to be honest, man. I'm happy for the Pods to get Manny Machado. No, not happy for the Pods.
No, he's a curse. So the Padres are gonna go 48 and 120
wow.
or whatever.
So Nate here thinks that the Angels are gonna make it to the
World Series.
Whoa,
we're going all the way.
I don't even think the Angels are gonna make the playoffs, but I think they'll probably be somewhere around 84 and 78, something like that. But we're not going to the World Series. I don't even think we're making the playoffs with that pitching staff. So
we'll make it.
See what happens. Jason Lynch, keep an eye out for edits and some videos coming. Thank you. Yes, I want to thank the guys, the crew at Dos Leprechauns Media. We've changed our name, Dos Leprechauns Media. We've got some really cool stuff coming up, so you'll start to see that in March as we get ready for the spring game. We're going to have probably a new T-shirt designer, or not designer, but a new T-shirt company. We're going to do hats. I know everybody's been asking for hats. We're going to do some jerseys that kind of look like a Notre Dame jersey, but it'll say Dos Leprechauns instead. Some new shirt designs, so look out for that. I want to thank the team, Jason Lynch, Wayne Smith on edits. Those guys do the killer job with all these edits, even the one you see here on the screen today of Kinnon Tatum. I want to thank Matt, David, Patrick McCormick, and Jason Pruitt for the articles. Ben Walters for the videos. We're going to drop a Chase Claypool highlight video, hype video here probably in the next hour or so, so be looking out for that. Who else do we need? Obviously, my co-host here, Nate, our producers for helping us get ready. Thank you, everybody. Also, thanks to our sponsor, Legends and Goats. I know they just helped out with the Jalen Smith autograph signing today, so that was pretty cool out in Fort Wayne. Let's see. Ray LaGrande said, Rays, very few of us. Yeah, I can imagine. Brian Little, my Texas Rangers suck, so I watch the Padres. All right. We don't really play baseball here in Pittsburgh. It's something else. Yeah, the Pirates, man, they I don't know. They get good, and then they trade guys like McCutcheon. I don't get that. Jason Lynch says draft edit says they are drafted. Yeah, so during the NFL drafts, we'll have fresh edits for all the guys that are drafted and congratulating them and things like that, so be looking out for that as well. So again, stay tuned to our channel, Dos Leprechauns Media. Check us out. This episode will also be available on YouTube. We're sharing that. And, of course, iHeartRadio just announced. So thank you to Brian Little for helping out with that. My favorite blockhead. Check him out on iTunes and Spotify. With that, we'll sign off. Everybody have a blessed rest of your weekend. Hope you guys stay dry and warm. It snowed here in SoCal the other day, so it was snow. I had a couple little snowflakes on my arm, so it was snow. Anyway, have a great day, guys. Go Irish, and we'll see you next time.